Hi everyone, my name is Cherry Hu, a first-term interaction design student at Art Center. The project showcased today is from my Interaction Design 1 class final, and the total project duration is 6 weeks. So without further ado, let's get started. Here is Foodsy, where group food memories start. Foodsy is an iMessage app extension to have an easier vote on food for groups, especially for restaurant visitors among friends or familiar groups of people. Because for groups, they often overspend time in communicating restaurant decisions and become frustrated when voting or browsing becomes inefficient and picky. Later on, I conducted desk research around 4 popular platforms such as Yelp, OpenTable, to analyze the pros and cons of each. Maps were also taken into consideration of analyzing their pros and cons between Google Maps and Apple Maps. After this, I positioned the different brands into a positioning matrix in between professional versus accessibility side, textual contents versus the pictorial contents. And for my project, I decided to focus on the pictorial contents and the accessibility, which targeted Yelp and Instagram or TikTok, which are softwares that teenagers nowadays use. For my interview goals, I chose to focus on understanding influencing factors, some reservation making, the usable softwares that people nowadays use, the main decision maker, and how they negotiate time between the group, identify future goals or perspectives. I also listed qualified interviews, such as people who have experiences in dining at restaurants during busy hours, they have virtual communication experience, was grouped in food decision, or have been a previous user of Yelp, Xiaohongshu, Google Maps, OpenTable, or Maps, etc. For my user interviews, I conducted a total of 5 interviews with 4 young adults and 1 working employee to get both the perspective from the friend with familiar group of people side versus the co-worker side when they hang around during work or after work. And from these interviews, I gathered insights such as people lose track of restaurant, they have hard time browsing and review to make decision. Clearly, it has a boring way of voting or polls. There's inefficient in communicating restaurant decision. The voting time is often too long. People have been wasting time in the restaurant line, or they're unable to connect with others before meals. In thinking of these, how may we were organized to, such as how may we organize restaurant choices, how may we be fun and immersive for vote between friends, how may we bridge gap between people before meeting, and how may we shorten decision time in groups. These were the 4 how may we's I start in this project. And from these how may we's, it leads to the pain points, and further into the solution that altogether leads to an iMessage app. The voice and tone I chose for this project is to be more of the playful side with casual voice of tone and a friendly text style. So here is the persona. Her name is Nicole. She's currently 21, a college student based in LA. She wants to be social and connected, be efficient in decision, as well as to be joyful with friends. Currently, she has the pain points of losing track of restaurant links, a boring way of voting and decision, inefficient food communication, as well as less connected with friends before a meal starts. Here is a journey map of Nicole with scenario written and her goals and expectation. These were the scenarios before she uses Foodsy and how she goes through the process of making a meal decision. Here is a scenario, the different scenarios written that can have possibilities to follow up. So here is the vision statement. Foodsy is a group-based experience in browsing and easy voting on meal choices. Then record journey with others into a lasting, blissful memory. This is information architecture with 3 main screens such as homepage, the group history, and the personal history. Here is the ideation. As I mentioned before, it's between a group of people and easy sharing. So I thought about including it in the iMessage, where there's also an iMessage app store. Here is some quick sketch flow that I have keep in mind for the 3 main part is to be fun, organized, and immersive. These were the low and mid fidelity of my design screens. And from the mid fidelity, I conducted 1 round of user testing with 4 different members, such as the indecisive member, the decision maker, the group foodie, and the person that is unfine with anything. For most of these, I conducted that they are often unclear on the circle profile intention. They want countdown on food vote so it doesn't last for too long, and they also want easy sharing to other people as well as to social medias. And here is a quick look at my high fidelity design screens. This is the logo and typography. I chose to keep it very simple, clean, iconic, and clear. For icons, I chose feather icons, and down below that is the disabled and enabled button states. For typography, SF Pro text of regular, medium, and bold were used in this project. The colors I picked were mainly grayscale colors, and besides that, a hopeful pink were chosen with little gradient of a calm pastel is used in this project. And here is a mood board of my design. These were the main features of my project, which includes an organized group restaurant list, a chooser voting game, a reaction voting, and a group memory pages. Now I'm going to present on how Foodsy comes into practical use with our persona Nicole. In here, she sees the Foodsy app embedded into the iMessage store. It's immersive vote on food decision for groups. She decides to download the app and give a try. Afterwards, she sees it's embedded into iMessage, and in scrolling up, she's now able to see Foodsy in its full view. Here it has the list of restaurants with restaurant title, type of food, opening hours, reviews and comments, and who in the group saved it to the list. In scrolling down, she's able to see more of the restaurant contents, and by clicking search, it automatically detects that she has a saved link from Yelp, and the link can be easily pasted and it will be added into the shared restaurant list. This becomes very convenient as she now has a clean way to vote. Down below the saved restaurants, she can decide on the date, time, location, and price, which act as a search filter in the function. During the interviews, insights were found that people rely on food images and reviews in deciding a restaurant. So for Foodsy, I designed it to by clicking the food images, people can swipe left or right between the different food pictures at glance. So now all the food choices seem good. Nicole wants to start the group vote. But how may she notify the team? Previously, Nicole did it through typing chats or video call with her friends. But now, with the Notify All section, down below the Vote button, she can easily notify the group by clicking Send. And her friends can join the vote too. It has 3 different games for Vote for Food. There's a Press Chooser interactive game, the general reaction vote, and spin the wheel, which is a more fun game. This time, Nicole decides to choose on the Press Chooser interactive game, which requires participants to be active. She can place fingers on the screen and winner gets to decide on the food. So right now, Nicole is waiting for her friend to join the game. And in clicking next, the game starts. First, she needs to choose the restaurant to pick, and the game starts. Here, Nicole is placing her finger on the screen, and by long press, after a few seconds, it shows her friend wins the game, which has a pink circle around the profile. In here, it shows the winner and the decided restaurants. On another scenario, if Nicole and her friends choose the reaction vote, a general game that gives reaction to the favorite restaurant on the list, they will be first leaded to see a vote timer, which have a maximum hour of 6. And this is because they didn't want the vote to go on for too long. So now the vote timer is set to 3 hours. After that, by long press restaurants, she needs to pick 2 of her favorite food, which is easier than picking just one. And here the results are yet to be announced. And once the results are finalized, they will get a notification, and by clicking in, they see that the number 1 pick for this meal is garden greens. In navigating back to home, they're now able to see a planned section, and by clicking reserve now, it asks permission to open Yelp and can be easily made for the reservation. Down below were the menu sections, popular dishes, and the restaurant that didn't get chosen this time will be in the next time section. Looking more closely, the Yelp reservation page have the date, time, location, and the number of people with the information already embedded, so it prevents another further step. And the data resources were all pulled from Yelp with the popular dishes. So now, all of the reservation is done. But what if the experience is more than just a meal? In clicking to the group history, she's now able to see the restaurant that she visited together with her group, food in the city, food in just LA, a food calendar for the group, a seasonal food report, and a group annual food report. Looking at it more closely, the shared album between the friends is actually based on Apple Maps location, which enabled the automatic upload of pictures inside the restaurant toward the shared album. And here is a quick glance at the annual food report. Here are the restaurants she visited with the same group, the number of games that she played. On average, she now spent only 5 minutes to decide on one meal. Some of the recommendations based on the group food taste, which can be added to the list, and the results can also be easily sent to group so her friends can join to see too. So now, the recorded food journey became a lasting, blissful memory between them. But what if she have different Foodsy groups? This is when the personal memories become useful, that she's able to see the memories of food that she visited just herself, the food in different city, food nearby, a food styles for her, a food calendar, and of course, the annual or seasonal report. She's able to see the results in between different iMessage group, the longest reaction vote time spent, the group that she spent most time with, some of the restaurant or recommendations just for her. Here are the future opportunities for Foodsy. When restaurant reservations are not available, people can call on phone for potential reservations. Next, what if there's a change of members in the group? So compared to the previous boring way of voting, there's now Foodsy. If you like my video, remember to give a thumbs up, and if you have any questions for me, comment down below to let me know. Thank you. See you next time.